We begin now in the top of Daf Lamed Ches Amud Aleph in Maseches Brachos. This is Brachos Daf 38a. The Gemara was just discussing bread that was made for a dip called kusach, and there were conflicting brises regarding whether or not that bread is chayiv in challah or not chayiv in challah. And the Gemara answers over here, it depends how that bread is made. If it is made ka'avin, like thick, chayavin, then it's chayiv in challah. If it's kilimudin, we'll see what that means in a minute, peturim, then it's pater min challah. So the resolution is, it depends how the bread is made. Rashi explains here. Ka'avin means aruchu mekutefes kagluskos nos. Gali daite de lalechem asa. He makes them like nice rolls, shows that he wants it to be really bread, so then it's chayiv in challah. Kilimudin means kinasarim ba'alma, like mere boards of boards of wood. Shelo hikbet al erisasim. He wasn't makbet how he fashioned them at all. So then he's showing that he doesn't really care for it as challah, and it is pater from the mitzvah of challah. Amar le Abaye Rav Yosef. Abaye says to Rav Yosef, "Hai kuvadara." Kuvadara again was the bread that was made in the cavity of the oven that was fried up over there. So my mevarchin aleh. What is the bracha on that? We mentioned earlier that it might be pater from challah. So the question is, what's the bracha? Amar le, he said, "Mi savrit namahu." Do you think that is considered bread? Govla bi'almahu. It's just like merely a kneaded kind of dough. Mevarchin aleh borim minei mizonos, and the bracha on it is a borim minei mizonos. Marzutra kavesu dase lave ubarachi lave hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'shalosh brachos. Marzutra actually was koveya suuda on this kuva diara, and therefore he made hamotzi. He made it into a real meal, so he made hamotzi, and he made a full benching. Amar Mar bar Rav Ashi says, "V'adam yotzi b'hen yedei chovasu b'Pesach." A person can use this kuva diara, assuming it's not chametz. He can use it as matzah on Pesach, and b'yotzei is mitzvah of matzah. My time, what is the reason? Lechem oni karin and beit. It qualifies as lechem oni. V'amar Mar bar Rav Ashi, and Mar bar Rav Ashi says, "Hai duvsha de tamri." If you have honey that comes from the dates, mevarchen ilave shakol niya bidvaro. The bracha on this honey is shahakol, even though the date might be ha'etz, but this honey that comes from the eitz, the bracha changes to shahakol. My time, what's the reason? Zeya bi'almahu. It is like, it's kind of like a mere sweat from the fruit. It's not considered like juice of the fruit. It's just something that's a totzah of the fruit, and you get a shahakol. Kiman ki haytan d'tanan. Who does this follow? It follows the following Mishnah. It says in the Mishnah, Dvash tmorim v'yein tapuchim v'chometz sefunios ushar mei peros shel truma. If I have, these are all different kinds of juices that come out of various fruits that are truma. So you have again, the honey from the dates. You have this wine from apples. You have a kind of a vinegar and all other kind of fruit juices. Rabbi Eliezer mechayev keren v'chomesh. Rabbi Eliezer says, if you were to drink these b'shogeg, it would be like drinking real truma, and you'd be chayev a keren and a chomesh. You'd have to pay an extra fifth. Rabbi Yoshua poter. Rabbi Yoshua says, no, it's no longer considered like truma, and it's poter. So you see from Rabbi Yehoshua that the duvsha de tamri is not considered the same as the tamarim. It's not the same as the dates. It's just like it gets a shahakol, so to your potter, it's not considered truma, and your potter from the fifth, and those two opinions are consistent with one another. Gemara now continues. Amar le'ahume rabbanan l'Rava. One of the rabbanan said to Rava, trima mahu. What is the halacha by trima? Now trima, Rashi explains, means anything that is crushed. So the Gemara says, "Lo have adaite de Rava ma'ika amarle." Rava initially did not understand what the question was. Yosef Ravina kame de Rava. Now Ravina was sitting in front of Rava, and Amarle, he said, he wanted to clarify a little the question, so he said, "De shumshami ka'amrit, or de kurtami ka'amrit, or de furtzani ka'amrit." So what crushed item are we talking about over here? He quotes three of them. We're going to see in Rashi what these three things are. So first of all, Rashi says, de kurtami. What does it mean? Dekortami, charkom, it's like saffron. Shakoshem oso v'nosen bo yayin v'shosin. It's something that you crush up the saffron and you put in some wine and you make a drink out of it. O deshumshami means sesame. Lahotzi shamnan, you're taking the oil out. O defortzani kasishas anavim, you're crushing up grapes. Lases lasocha chartzon imayim, and you're putting into the pits of the grapes water. Lasos temet, again to make a kind of this kind of a wine from the pits of the grapes. So these are different kinds of juices that you're making, and he asked these questions to qualify. What are we talking about? So, adahachi v'hachi aske Rava l'daite. Now, in the course of this whole discussion, Rava finally understood what the question was. Amar Leini said to him, "Chashil tavare kaver." What you mean to ask is these crushed up items regarding dinim of truma. They had kart and milso hadam Ravasi, and you've reminded me something which Ravasi said as follows: Hai tamri shel truma. That if you have dates of truma, mutter lasos mehen trima. You can turn them into trima, meaning again you can crush them up and create this kind of a drink, and it's not considered destroying truma, meaning meaning it's still considered the same as it was before. It was considered dates of Truma before. Now it's also considered kind of still like dates of Truma. V'yasar lasos man shecher. However, you cannot use these tamarim to make beer because that's destroying the dates and creating a whole new thing, and you're not allowed to be mafsid Truma. V'hilchas, and the halacha is tamri vavdinhu trima. If you have dates and you make them into this trima drink, mevarchan alayu bori priyo eitz. The bracha remains bori priyo eitz. My timer was the reason b'melsayu kaimi kidemekar. They're still considered the same thing. So the idea here is basically when it comes, if you're crushing it up, not necessarily like squeezing out the juices, but you're crushing it up and then creating a juice from it, it's still considered the same item and it remains a bori priyo eitz. It's not considered being mafsid truma. Unlike the first case, the earlier case where we said that if you're literally making drinks out of it, then it is putter from the chomesh, we said, and also the bracha would be shahakol. Bracha would be shahakol, again according to Mar Bar Rav Ashi. Gemara now continues with the discussion of shasisa. Rashi explains what shasisa is. Shasisa machal ha'asim mikemach koloyos shenesiyav shu betanor. So you have these kernels from wheat, and you make flour. You're drying these kernels in an oven, ba'od shibolam lachim, while the stalks are really still moist. So it's kind of like these parched kernels that you're creating flour from. So the question is, what brach is made on this item shasisa? Rav amar shahakol niya bidvaro, Shmuel amar bori minei mezonos. Rav says it's a shahakol, it loses its status as a grain product. Shmuel says it is a mezonos. Amar Rav Chisda says velo pligi. It's not really an argument. Haba ava haba racha. It depends if it's thick or if it's thin. Ava la'achila avdila. If you're making it thick, that's made for eating purposes, food purposes, and it retains the brach of mezonos. Raka, but if it's a thinner consistency, l'refua ka'avdila, then you're actually making it for refua, and the bracha changes to a shahakol. Meisav Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef asked a question on this. V'shav and shabochshin es hashasus b'Shabbos, v'shos and zeisum hamitzri. So these are both, the first thing is shasus. Zeisum hamitzri is also a kind of a drink for that they use for certain kind of illnesses, ailments, and it says over here in this brisa that you're allowed to stir the shasus on Shabbos. It's not a problem. So the Gemara asks, now assuming we're talking about this thinner kind of shasus that's made for refuah, the Gemara asks, if the entire purpose of making it is refuah b'Shabbos mishari, you can't be doing something for refuah on Shabbos. Refuah on Shabbos is not allowed. Amar le'Abai, Abai said, "Viat lo tizbra," but you don't think it's okay. V'atanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Kol ha'ochlin ochel adam l'refuah b'Shabbos. Foods are allowed to be eaten by a person for refuah on Shabbos. V'chol ha'mashkin shos, and all drinks are able to be drunk on Shabbos again for refuah. Why is that true? The idea is that as long as the person's intention is for eating, it's not a problem. So to over here, when they said you're allowed to stir up the shasus, the idea was if his intention is to eat, then he could do it, and it's not a problem that it's also giving him a refuah. Another version of the same idea was as follows. What else is there to say? The person's intending to eat. The refuah is coming memela. Here too, again, he's really having intention for achila, and the refuah is just coming as a byproduct. It's coming memela. So the basic answer is, we're remaining with what we said before. By a thinner kind of shasisa, the bracha would be shahakol, and it's really made for refuah. But the reason why on Shabbos it's okay is if the intention of the person is to eat it, and the refuah comes memela, to drink it, and the refuah comes memela, it's not considered a problem. The Gemara now says utzricha de Rav. We need what Rav said before, or Gersa of utzricha de Rav or Shmuel. We need what Rav and Shmuel said before. The idea is we need them to tell us that there's a bracha on this item. Why? Without Rav and Shmuel, you might have thought that in a situation where you're intending to eat it and you're getting a refuah as a byproduct, okay, so then it's obvious that it's considered a food. You make a bracha and all of that. But in a situation, what if you make it totally for refuah purposes, not for eating at all? You're doing it, let's say, on a weekday. Maybe you would get no bracha at all, and that's why Rav needs to tell us that by this thin kind of shasisa, it does require a bracha. Kamash Malon comes to teach us, Kavan the Islay Hana Minei Boy Bruchi. Since you are at the end of the day getting Hana, getting pleasure, Rav is teaching us, even if it's completely made for the purposes of refuah, you still say a bracha. Gemara now discusses the bracha on bread, which was mentioned in the Mishnah. Shalapasu Omer Hamotzi V'chulu. On bread, a person says the bracha of Hamotzi. Taner Rabbanan, we learned in a brayso, Mahu Omer Hamotzi Lechem in Haaretz. First opinion of the Brisa Tanakama is that the bracha is hamotzi lechem in haaretz with a hay. Rabbi Nechemia Omer motzi lechem in haaretz. Rabbi Nechemia says the bracha is motzi lechem in haaretz without the hay. Amar Rava says b'motzi kol yamalo pligi da'apik mashma. Everybody agrees that the word motzi is in the past tense and it would be a fitting word to use for the bracha. The idea being that the bread was taken out of the ground. Like it says kel motziyam Mitzrayim, he took us out of Mitzrayim in the past tense. Ki pligi, what are they arguing about? B'hamotzi. They're arguing about the word hamotzi. That's the one where it's unclear whether that's good or not. Rabbanan Savri hamotzi da'apik mashma t'chsiv hamotzi l'chamayim mitzorach halamish. Again, the Rabbanan say hamotzi is also a past tense, as the pasuk of hamotzi l'chamayim, he took out water for you from the rock. That is considered that's a past tense, and that's why it would certainly be good. But Rabbi Nechemia says hamotzi d'mapik mashma, that hamotzi does not mean in the past tense. It means he is going in the future to take them out. And like it says hamotzi eschem mitachas sivlos Mitzrayim, he will take you out from Mitzrayim. So it's a future tense, so you can't use it because it would not fit appropriately in the bracha of hamotzi. For Rabban, the Rabban respond regarding that pasuk ahu, in that pasuk hachi kamerlu kutcha b'richul Yisrael. This is what Hashem is saying. This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying to Klal Yisrael. Kad mapikna lechu avina lechu milsa kihechi diadisu da'anohu da'apekis yischom Mitzrayim. When I take you out in the future, I'm going to do something which will have you know that it was I who took you out from Mitzrayim. That's the past tense part. That it was I who took you out. Like it says, v'datem ki ani Hashem lekechem. You will know that I am Hashem hamotzi who took you out. So that is the dispute between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Nechemia, whether hamotzi is effective as whether the word hamotzi is good to use when you're making a bracha on bread. So now the Gemara has a little story. Mishtavachin le Rabbanan le Rabbi Zera es bar Rav Zavid achud Rav Shimon bar Rav Zavid the Adam Gadol. The Rabbanan were telling Rabbi Zera how great the son of Rav Zavid was. This is the son of Rav Zavid who was the brother of Rabbi Shimon, the son of Rav Zavid. They were saying how what a great person he is. Ubaki bebrachas. And he's an expert when it comes to brachas. So who Amar Ubalki bebrachasu? He's an expert in brachas. Amar Lim so Amar Lahem. So he said to the Rabbanan, when he comes to you, bring him to me. I want to meet him. Zim Nachara one time Ikla Lagabe, he came to Mafikule Rifta. They brought out bread. Pasach v'Yamar Motzi, and he said Motzi. He didn't say Hamotzi. So the response was Amar. He said Zehu Shomer Malav Dadam Gadol Hu Ubalki bebrachas. This is the guy you think is a great person who's an expert in brachas. Bishlama Yamar Hamotzi. It would be true, it would be good if he would have said Hamotzi, and the Gemara will continue this discussion of what Rabbi Zera's opinion was of him using the word Motzi on the next Amud on Daf Lamed Ches Amud Beis.